This is Captain America Core 2, and my intention was always to cover this entire series, but it has been so long since I looked at the first issue of it. This is a Roy Sternman Captain America miniseries. It was released as part of a push of Captain America books to coincide with the first Captain America movie, aka the one that I was in the background of. With this issue, I also have a tenuous claim to involvement, which I will get into near the end of the video. But I do like this. I enjoyed it when it was coming out. I was looking forward to each issue. The story is that we have Captain Americas from different time periods. They team up to stop bad guys who have taken over America. This here is showing us one of our heroes, and it is Teenage Dream, who is Captain America's daughter from the M2 universe. Our other Captain Americas are shown here. Other than the new character in the top left, Commander A, the other three are easily recognisable. We have U.S.Agent, Bucky Man, who was the current Captain America at the time, and then the real Captain America, Steve Rogers, who has been brought from the past. He comes straight from World War II. And he still has the original costume and the original shield. And these 5 Caps, they are fighting a Miniseries. And it bears no repeating that I love a Miniseries. A Miniseries is just such a fun visual. As possibly the world's biggest Miniseries fan, I was loving 2011 because not only was he in this, but he also showed up in the main Captain America series. It was like, finally, a Miniseries was having his day. And then he was just in the main Captain America title to die. But at least Roy Sternman takes a Miniseries completely seriously here. A Miniseries comes from the very late 70s. He hails from the exceptionally bad Search for Steve Rogers period, where Captain America's book got through about 8 writers in the space of like 5 issues. You didn't see much from that period of continued relevance to Captain America. The only thing that really mattered was Captain America's affinity for art, and very occasionally his dad being an abusive alkie. I guess you could also count Kaiser. His first appearances were during those issues. His first appearance was in the 2nd issue of that run. I own it, and that was another one I fully intended to continue looking at after I reviewed issue 215. I was going to prattle on about Vamp and Vida Ross, but I enjoyed this game. It wasn't a great game, but it was a satisfying Captain America game. I would love to play it again, but the license has expired, so it pretty much doesn't exist anymore. I would like to live stream this game, but I cannot live stream. Me internet ain't good enough. And it doesn't matter because the game isn't available anymore. Right, the Captain America Corps, as they are not called at any point in the story, they have been captured by this team of bad guys. They have been held prisoner. We learn all about the bad guys next issue. A lot of flashbacks and exposition dumps. And I will be talking about 3 out of 5 of them in a few pages. So, in the meantime, until then, I will talk about the other 2. We have Superior, who comes from Marky Mark J's run on Captain America. And we have Bright Star, who... Oh, shit. I am going to complain about Benson and Beevort again, aren't I? You see, just before this came out, Superior, she was suddenly in Benson's Avengers, with no explanation and no reason, and no characterization, and her entire motivation and agenda had been scrapped or ignored to make her into a fucking sexy secretary character to Norman Osborn. Superior is like the one character that absolutely cannot be depicted as subservient to a man. Her entire fucking shtick is that she hates men and that she wants women to take over the world and murder all men or transform men into women. Fucking Benson and Beevort, they are dead shit at comic books. And another thing was that Superior was dead. But as Benson and Beevort oft did, they had a dead bad guy show up alive and never explained it, and never even justified bringing them back to life in the first place. Roy Sternman uses this miniseries to try and tidy up and explain a resurrection, and he's thankfully not in his late 90s copying Kurt Busey mode. That's a bingo. All of the 3 Bs have been mentioned in this one. I was thinking, this is a game you at home can play with me videos. The 3 Bs, Busey, Benson and Beevort. Before watching any video by me, you have to guess how many of the 3 I will find a way to mention and moan about. Great scene here with U.S.Agent breaking free. Terrible bit here with Bucky Man's artificial arm coming to life. But in Roy Sternman's defence, a lesser writer established and kept doing that first. And then here is U.S.Agent beating up a bunch of AmeriCops, which is another bad guy I fucking love. So it is time to talk about how I contributed to this series. And now, to immediately clarify that definitive statement with one of uncertainty, here is how I think I maybe, perhaps, possibly contributed to this series. On a forum, Roy Sternman posts on a lot of forums. Very nice guy. He is polite. He likes talking to fans. Really friendly. When this was announced, he started a thread about it. And not much was really revealed about the series at that point. Just that it was Captain America and Captain Americas throughout time. And Roy Sternman asked, probably just as a conversation piece, not as an actual request, but Roy Sternman asked, what characters, past or present, would you all like to see involved in a celebration of Captain America's history? He did actually reply to a few. He didn't reply to me, but I think the comic speaks for itself. I couldn't find the topic on CBR. If it was CBR, it was either CBR or the Masterworks forum. Those were the two I posted on. I responded to Roy Sternman's question with a very strategic answer. Here's the thing. When a comic book writer asks a question like that of readers and fans, they are not going to read all of the replies or even pay attention to most of them. Like at least 4 people said Rachel Diamond, and she is not in this miniseries anyway. It almost feels like someone in the position of executive editor hates her or something. Likewise, there are answers that are boring. Falcon Man, Baron Zero, Crossed Bone. I would like to see all those characters in a series like this, but other people are likely to suggest them, and it's not going to stand out to Roy Sternman. It's like, I see it as wasting your wish. And also, if you post a fucking list of 30 characters, like one person did, you are not getting read. There is no way Roy Sternman, as courteous and lovely as he is, there is no way Roy Sternman even considered reading that list. Likewise, if you answer bluntly with only one character, it seems off. So I took the chance to name 3 characters that would stand out as unique choices and are ones that probably nobody else would ever say. I said AmeriCorp because I think AmeriCorp was wasted. I said Ameridroid. I have already said in this fucking video that I unironically like both those characters. And my third choice was the Navy SEAL Captain America imposter from the Captain America and Falcon Man series. And this was the only one I listed with a caveat. And that was, and can you finally give him an official name? You see, the character never had a name. Nobody knew it. He didn't have a code name either. The Andy books had to refer to him as Anti-Cap, which was like a nickname a character gave him. It could have been worse. They could have settled for when Steve Rogers dubbed him a super sailor. So, on this team of bad guys, we have Americop, Ameridroid, and surprisingly, the Navy SEAL, who was given the code name Major America. Not a great name, unfortunately, because I don't think Major is a naval rank. Correct me if I am wrong, but I am also not taking credit for this. Roy Sternman probably posted it on a dozen forums. Other people might have suggested the same characters. Anti-Cap, he needed a name regardless of me saying so. I was strategic and clever with my reply, but I am a lot more satisfied that all three of my wants were delivered, even if totally unintentionally. I am more satisfied by that than ever taking actual credit for this or getting acknowledged for it. Decide yourself if radio is going to stay, but also if I inspired this. I only mentioned it in this video because it is interesting from the perspective of my channel that there is a comic that I maybe, possibly, potentially infected with Americop. I did also when they did Scarred Spider, brilliant name I've come up with there, it was Kanye, the scarred Peter Parker clone. He was based in Houston, Texas, and I tweeted the writer at least 4 times to tell them that Americop operates out of Houston, Texas, and that he should have an encounter with Kanye. Never happened. We never got the Scarred Spider versus Americop story that I wanted. I wasn't even reading Scarred Spider. I was just intent on making Americop a thing. Then Nickelback Spencer killed them off panel and replaced them with an army of evil racist Americops who beat on black kids, and that is not my Americop. I rate this issue 7 thumbs up, but 3 Bs down.